Dear Diary, today is a genuinely sad day, both in my own life and in the world of aeronautics. Today marks the second coming of Grundee. To properly understand the second coming of Grundee, we must first understand the original advent of Grundee. Once upon a time, there was a crew of aeronautical janitors who prized themselves on their ability to clean a 747 in 12 minutes flat. Their skills were unmatched, and each janitor had his or her own special duty. One particular janitor, we'll call her Xerxes, was the fastest of them all. In fact, she was the fastest in the land. Because she was so fast, the team of janitors would often find themselves finishing their tasks very early, one might say even excessively early. As a result, the rest of the janitors loved Xerxes. She was their most valuable treasure. But one day, Xerxes left the janitors. From then on, the janitors toiled long and hard without their cherished leader. This was the original Grundee. Now that we understand the first Grundee, we can move on to the second coming of Grundee. I said before that today marks the second coming of Grundee. Today was the last day that I will ever see my most highly esteemed co-worker, Santos. Santos was a ray of light in a bleak, dark place. Being in his presence was like basking in a moonbeam. He was truly a pleasure to be around. Work was always better when he was there. He was always willing to put others before himself, and he did. Never before have I seen such kindness and generosity despite his rather unfair treatment at work. Under the mighty heel of Imraz, Santos often found himself coming in on extra days or having his schedule constantly switched around. We recently got news that Santos would be leaving us, for bigger and better things. I was, at the time, happy for him, and still am, because I did not want to burden him solely with my vacuum duties when I left. This isn't all about me, though. Sure, I will miss Santos a great deal, more than I will miss anybody else from the company, perhaps. But what of my protege? And what of my protege's protege? What of the others that we both leave behind? What kind of place will it be for them to work without his brilliant resplendency? But then came today. It was a normal night, all up until the end when it finally sunk in that we would never see Santos again. As another co-worker and I walked with him to the parking lot, we discussed in company and why he was leaving it. Finally, when we came upon the lot of parking, I shook his hand and told him that it was good to know him, and made my way to my car. I didn't want to drag it out. Goodbyes were never my forte. The other co-worker stayed a while longer and chatted with Santos. He later informed me that Santos told him to seek his phone number from another one of our co-workers. We'll call her the Gordita, or the Gordita Supreme if you prefer. I knew that good old Santos wouldn't leave us without a way to reach him. Neither my co-worker, I'll call him Chip, or I talk to the Gordita much, nor do we care to, but if Santos left us in her care, then it must have been for a reason. I see now that she is the truth and the light, and no one comes before the Padre but by her. Although I only have 1 week with the company, left with the company myself, I find myself filled with a new hope. A brilliant light and a radiant warmth envelop me as I strive to reach out to the saint of prime flight. By his grace am I saved.